Hey guys, it's Kaz here, and today I'm doing the mid-year book freakout tag thing, is what it's called, I believe. So, yes, there are a bunch of questions. I have the questions, I have a stack of books to talk about, so let's go. I was planning on doing my stats in this, but then I thought the video would probably be too long, so I'm going to do my stats in a separate video. It's like second quarter stats. So let's just get into it anyway. So the question one is best book you've read so far. And for that one, I'm going to go with The Mercies by Kieran Millward Hargrave. I just really enjoyed this book, and it also was not a book that I was 100% expecting or knowing that I was going to love so much, but it makes it even better, of course, because it's set in 1617. You know, I'm not a fan of the historical stuff normally, but I really enjoyed this. I read it a couple of months ago, so like check out that wrap up. But it's basically about this island in Norway, and all the men go out to sea to do the fishing, and then a big old wave came and destroyed them. It's based on true things that happened in real life as well. And they all died, so all the women on the island had to step up and exist. And then, like, the dickheads come over and try and convert everybody and try and tell women that they're not allowed to do stuff. And then they get accused of being witches. So, yeah, it was really good. Recommend. Question 2 is best sequel you've read. And this one I was like, not sure about, but I've decided to go with Saga Volume 10. It was just a really fun time, and I've been waiting for it for so long, and I enjoyed it, and it's good, and it's great to just get back into the swing of things, into this series. It's just a great time, and I'm sure you know what Saga is, so I don't even need to explain it to you. This is the 10th volume. If you don't know by now, you're not going to know, but you should know. If you don't know, go and read it, because it's really good. Question 3 is favourite reread, and I've only reread one thing this whole year, so it's going to have to be the favourite because it's the only. And that is the first volume of this Deadpool run, which is Secret Invasion. So I've been collecting this run of Deadpool for like bajillion years, and then I looked on Goodreads and realised how long ago it was that I read this, so I thought I should probably carry on and read all the rest of them. So I read this one again to start it off. So it's my only reread. But it was a fun time. It's Deadpool, isn't it? It's just silly and fun and kills things and stuff and says sarcastic things. So yeah, good time. So question 4 is a genre you've been loving lately. And I found this one really hard to pin down because, like, I read some stuff. Yeah, I've been reading quite a bit of contemporary recently. Like last month for Pride Month, most of the things I read were contemporary. It's just something that I've been reading a lot of, but I've also been reading quite a bit of fantasy. But I thought this might be a stretch, but also I'm going to say it. So, you know, earlier on when I said I don't really read historical fiction, so 2 of the 3 5-stars I've given out this whole year, yes, I'm very picky with my 5 stars, they sort of fit into historical fiction, which is very strange because I don't read historical stuff, but also, like, when you dig deeper, one of them is set in the 1600s and one is set in 1994, so it's like, does it really count? Because when I say historical, I mean I'm not reading a book set in World War II because I don't care about reading stuff about that. Obviously I care that it happened, but it's not my jam to read stuff like, I don't care. But they count as historical, so I'm going to go with historical fiction. Imagine that. Me. Unheard of. Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about that. Boy Like Me by Simon James Green. It's really good. Talked about it in my wrap up, so I won't do it again. Question 5 is a new release you haven't read yet but want to, and we're going to stick with the Simon James Green here. I'm going to go with Finn Jones Was Here because I'm just terrible at keeping up with new releases. I just like see someone talk about a book or see someone post it on Twitter and be like, oh, is that out? Oh, I didn't even know that existed. I didn't even know that author was writing that book. But I know about that one from Simon James Green. In fact, I just bought it the other day, so spoilers for my haul for this month. So yeah, that is one that I very much want to read and is out, so it counts. Question 6 is most anticipated release for the rest of the year, and again, I'm going to reiterate, I don't keep up with new releases. I don't keep up with what's coming out. Half the time I don't even know somebody's writing something, it just exists, and then I'm like, no way, that exists. But I did have a quick look on the internet, and 2 things that I'm probably going to read and haven't come out yet and are planning on coming out this year, so it counts, are The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab, which is like the next in the Darker Shade of Magic series. but also I don't know anything about it. I don't know if it follows the same characters. I don't know how long after it is. I don't know if it's a prequel, sequel, prequel. Who knows? But I'll probably read that. And the other one is The Chalice of the Gods by Rick Riordan, because it's a Percy Jackson book. And well, that one, it's like anticipated, but also, am I anticipating it? It's one of them, it's been so long that will it feel right? Will it not feel right? I don't know how it's going to be done. Is it going to be YA because he's older? Is it going to be like actually written for older people, or is it going to keep it middle grade even though they're like older now? I don't know how it's going to work, but I am potentially looking forward to it, hopefully. Yes. The next question, question 7, is the biggest disappointment for you, and this is one that I just talked about in my wrap up, and that's Timberdark by Darren Charlton. I gave it like 3 stars, so it wasn't terrible, but it was the biggest disappointment simply because I was hoping to enjoy it more, because I really liked the first book in this series, in this duology, and I feel like this one sort of let it down. It didn't live up to it. It didn't sit next to it as a good continuation slash finishation of this series. So yeah, slightly disappointed with that one, unfortunately. Next question is biggest surprise, and I'm gonna go with Being an Ally. It's not even all, like, there's a full book called Allies, but this Being an Ally was one of the World Book Day books. So basically I got most of the World Book Day books. I did a vlog, no one watched it, but it exists if you want to go and find it. And that was in March, because that's when World Book Day was. And it was my first 5-star of the year, and it's like this little, so it was very surprising. Because I was reading, I was like, wow, this is really, really good. So yeah, it's non-fiction, it's essays about being an ally in different ways. So of course it talks about race, but it also talks about things that you won't see very often, like one of them is about somebody with a stutter, for example, or there's one about different visibilities in disability, like if your disability is visible, people are more likely to help you than if it's an invisible disability, and then people are more likely to scorn you even though they exist still. So yeah, it was really interesting. I probably should read the whole thing really, because I did really enjoy that one. So yeah. Question 9 is favourite new author, and this one, like, there's no author that stood out to me as a favourite, because I have read a bunch of different authors, but like I haven't read more than one, so how do I know that it's going to be a favourite? But I've picked out 2 that could possibly carry on as contenders, as authors that I'm going to enjoy in the future. First of that is Kelly Quinlan. I read She Drives Me Crazy earlier this year, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's a contemporary, it has 2 characters that, it's like an enemies to lovers situation, and I just really enjoyed it. It was just a really fun time, so hopefully her other books will carry on being that. And another one, just sneak in there, Terry Pratchett. I finally read my first Terry Pratchett book. I enjoyed it, so my family didn't disown me. So yeah, hopefully I'll carry on reading and enjoying Terry Pratchett books, and then I can be like in the crowd of every other person on the planet that's read Terry Pratchett, because I finally have now. We're about halfway through, so let's head on over to a message for one of the spawns, and then I'll be back with the rest of the questions. Hi, beautiful. You enjoy laying on my table? So the next question is newest fictional crush, and it's just like, no. It's very, 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 very rare that I'll have any sort of crush on a fictional character. I'll read a book and I will enjoy the pairing in the book and feel all the cutes, like, oh, look how cute they are together, oh, they're perfect parents. But like, not like, oh, I want that person, I want that fictional person. Not really. So I'm gonna swap it to your favourite ship rather than your favourite crush. And I'm just gonna throw in Never Had I Ever. Never Have I Ever is not what this book is called. Never Ever Came Back Together by Sophie Gonzalez. Partly just because I really enjoy this book and I haven't talked about it, and nowhere else I can put it in here. But also partly because I did really enjoy the little sort of relationship going on. I mentioned this recently, I think it was in like one of my last videos or something, how Sophie Gonzalez is like the queen of miscommunication. Normally I fucking despise that trope, but she does it so well. It's like, it makes the story so fun. She just does it in a really fun way. She does drama in a fun way. This book is set on a reality TV show about this dude, and he's getting all of his exes back together, and it's one of them like, oh, date all your exes and see which one's the person you like. And we follow both of these two girls, and one of them despises him because he cheated on her and then split up, and the other girl still quite likes him, and she's the girl that he cheated on her with. But then, like I said, there's like enemies, rivals to friends to lovers, and it's nice and fun and dramatic, and it's just a fun time, like all of Sophie Gonzalez's books. And then the next question is your newest favourite character, and like in a similar vein to that one, I'm going to say the Sunbearer Trials by Aidan Thomas, just because I really enjoyed this book and there's nowhere else I can put it in this list. And there's like no book that I've read that there's just one specific character that jumps out like they're the best character in the world. Like as I was looking down what I've read when I was putting these questions together. So I've gone with this just because I really enjoyed this book and it was just a great time. So the characters must be great, otherwise I wouldn't have enjoyed it so much. So that fits, kind of. And then the next question is a book that made you cry. So this one is quite an interesting one. We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I gave this book 3.5 stars. Most of my reading experience with this book, I was like, meh, meh. And then something happened and then I was like the ending of the book is so good, and I really wish the rest of the book was as good as this, because like it's still with me. I still think about that ending or that twist or that stuff that happens. Like it's one that I'm going to remember forever. It's just really unfortunate that the rest of the book didn't live up to it, because I wished it was good enough for me to be like, oh, I love this book, it made me cry so much. But I actually like, I found this book mediocre and then the ending was really good. So yeah, it's a mixed bag, that one. It's a weird one, but I did cry at it quite a bit, so it counts. The next question is a book that made you most happy, and for that one I've got sort of two answers for different reasons. So first of all, I have 16 Souls by Rosie Talbot. I just had a lot of fun reading this book because it's set in York and it's about ghosts. And one time I went to York and I did one of those ghost walk things afterwards because we had a really late train home and it was like something we could do in the evening. And it was so fun. And then when I was reading this, I was just getting really excited, like, ah, I know that ghost. I've heard stories about that ghost, because all of the ghosts in here are like based on real ghosts in York. So I was just like having a blast. Like when they mentioned Marmaduke Buckle, I was like, I know Marmaduke Buckle. It was just a really fun time, just because I had that sort of extra layer of sort of knowing the stories of the ghosts as well as just enjoying the story in general. And then in a different vein, I'm going to say Tale of the Magic Weavers. This is a Guild of Fantasy anthology. It's an anthology book. So this one made me most happy, not because it was the best book I've ever read, because some of the stories in here are not the best, because it's like from indie authors. I feel like some of them it's probably their first published because it's not written very well, but the first story in here is amazing. You know why it's amazing? First of all, just because it's amazing and it's great, but also it's by my sister. And so you guys won't have known this because she's just really terrible at social media, so even if you know about her books and stuff, but she, like several months ago, it's probably been longer because what even is time, she got diagnosed with carpal tunnel in both her wrists, so she can't write anything at the moment. She hasn't been able to write for quite a few months, but this book makes me happy because it means that she's got one thing published this year at least, even if it's just a little story in here. So go check out Kay MacLeod, go buy some of her books, go show her some love and show her that you're still reading her books even though she can't write any at the moment because she's got terrible wrists that hopefully, fingers crossed, will get sorted soon. The next question is the most beautiful book you've bought, and for this one, let me just reach over here. It is my second edition volumes of Farthest North by Fridtjof Nansen because they're just so fun. So here we go. They look like this. And on the side, it has the explory stuff. And these were published in 1898. And yeah, like these actual volumes were published in 1898. And they're just really good and shiny and fun. So how can it not be my favourite, prettiest books? The next question is books you need to read by the end of the year, and all the books on my 2023 list, TBR list, that I've not read yet. I'll talk about that more in my like second quarter wrap-up-y thing that I'm gonna do very soon, probably like the next video after this video, realistically. So yeah, the books in there I need to read, but also all the books. Just read all the books, any of the books, just read the books. The next question is favourite video or post you've done. So this one's kind of hard because I feel like this year I've not really been very what's the word, creative with my videos. I've not posted as much as I have in the past. I've not been as creative, but I did really enjoy my middle grade that you've probably, like middle grade recommendations that you've probably never heard of. Ironically, people still have not heard of it because it's got like no views, but I found that really fun because I talked about 5 middle grade books that I just don't hear anybody talking about. Hopefully those like 30 people that watched the video found some books that they would like to read now. But yeah, I talked about some random little ones. I also, not even about books, but I also just really enjoyed my travel vlogs. I finally got my Gdansk one up, which was, I went to Gdansk in October last year and I had all the footage, but I'm just really bad at putting them together. So like a couple of months ago I finally got that out. But then I went to Italy in May, yes, and I got that vlog out really quickly. And I will be doing my Spain vlog definitely this year. It will be coming up. So yeah, I've just been really enjoying that because even if people don't care, like it's something that I can look back on. But also, again, ironically, people do care because I do get more views on that than my book stuff, so of course. And then the last question is favourite community member, and I've seen a bunch of different people do this tag and they talk about loads of different people, which I would love to do. There are loads of amazing people, but I'm going to talk about one because the 3 people that are watching this video, I know one of them will be this person, so you don't have to subscribe to yourself. But if you are not subscribed to Katie from The Introverted Reader, how dare you, first of all. They've been here for ages, they've been here for so many years, they bring out the fun content, they do book reviews, talk about loads of fun things, read books. They're just a great person. They're Irish as well, so the accent, and go and subscribe to them because why are you not? Is what I'm saying. The link is in the description, so you literally have no excuse. So there we go, that was the, I forgot what it's called again, the middle of the road. It's the middle of the year, so do this tag, mid-year freak out books stuff. So yeah, say some words down below if you want. Go and subscribe to Katie because why haven't you yet? And yeah, I will see you again with another video shortly. Bye.